Hello everyone, thank you for joining us wherever you are. I'm Gulo from Jadi PNS, will be your host. Now we are with Prasiddhi Singh. He is founder of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation from India. Hello Prasiddhi, Namaste. How are you?
Hello, I'm amazing. Namaste from India. I'm so happy to connect with you and everyone who will be watching this interview.
Prasiddhi, again, thank you so much for joining us, and we are really excited to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Prasiddhi, could you please give us a little bit of background on you?
Sure. So, I am a young entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, and environmentalist. I have planted over 100,000 trees across India. I'm Prime Minister National Child Awardee, which is the highest civilian honor under 18 given in India. I am Diana Awardee, so this is the Diana Awardee,
Wow.
and it is the biggest award given for youngsters below the age of 18 across the globe who've done something in the field of humanitarian efforts or social action. It is from the United Kingdom. I am also Global Child Prodigy Awardee from UAE, and I've organized more than 600 plus awareness sessions and workshops and connected with more than 40,000 plus people across 20 countries. I'm 10 years of age, and I'm the founder of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation.
Right. Prasiddhi, you just mentioned about forest related to trees. When and where were you when you first realized you wanted to plant trees?
So for me, nature has always been like I've always had an unconditional bond with nature. So in 2016, when I was just 4 years old, a massive natural calamity. So a Varda cyclone, it's the name of a cyclone that had hit in 2016 to our locality, and as into the southern part of India. And for me, I was just 4 years old at that time. So for me, trees have been like my friends. I've always spoken to trees, connected with them. I've had this bond with them. But then when I saw, the trees getting uprooted or the road was flooded, there was thunderstorm, and I saw those birds and squirrels. Everyone was waiting, or everyone was running for shelter. And
Mhm.
at that time, I realized that I actually have to do something for the environment. And so I started participating in multiple plantation drives. Why I got this understanding is because my father has been keen in sports. So we would always go on these nature walk and marathons in the morning. And I would really enjoy the green cover there in our locality. It's a green place. And then see those covered trees. But the morning when we went back again after the cyclone was over, I saw all the trees, on the road here and there. And it was for me pretty disastrous. I was like, what has happened? What should I do now? Then my journey of, taking real action started. I started participating. So after doing that from the age of 4 to the age of 6, so for 2 good years, I participated in plantation drives. I understood about the pitting, leveling, watering, weeding, fencing, all the different processes that used to happen in order to take care of the plant, creating the nursery. And after doing that for 2 good years, at the age of 6, I launched Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. So that was how it started. And speaking of when and where, I was in the last. So there was these community projects happening to restore the damage that was done, and I was a regular participant, I'll say.
Mhm.
And in the plantation, like a final plantation that they were doing, there where a lot of big industries are involved, that was of a plantation of about 100,000 trees. And I saw that it was about to conclude that month. And I was like, I don't want to let it end. I want to plant more. I want to do more. And that's when my mission came that I want to plant 100,000 trees by myself. And then I launched Prasiddhi Forest Foundation. And yeah, that's how it all started.
Wow, that's amazing. So before we go further, now you live in the area of Chengalpattu in India.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Chengalpattu in the state Tamil Nadu. It's a district beside Chennai.
All right. And then I'm wondering, how does Chengalpattu and its surrounding look like in terms of trees and climate change awareness?
So, in particular, in the district Chengalpattu, I stay in the locality, in particular, Mahindra World City. And this place is actually, I'll say it is actually very green. It has this nature based cover, and people have an understanding. People over here have an awareness towards the environment, especially after a lot of natural calamities that keep hitting, and Tamil Nadu being one of the hot states, in terms of weather of India. And then what happens is we have an understanding, we have some climate awareness, and it's green in the locality. But in the fast pace of life, while there are so many different industries, so many companies, so many people working, we often forget the importance of nature or the involvement of nature in our lives, in our happiness. So in that terms, I guess it is in most of the places across the world where just because of our, lot of work that we have, we forget nature. But otherwise, yes, generally people are aware over here, or else they have a love towards nature because of the surrounding, but they might not know about the massive catastrophes involved in the environment.
All right. Thank you. And then you just mentioned that in 2018, you founded the Prasiddhi Forest Foundation when you are 6 years old. Is it correct? 6 years old, you founded the foundation?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Please tell us more about it.
So actually, it just started with the goal that I want to plant 100,000 trees by the end of the year 2022. That was last year, which is why I've crossed it last year, and I've planted a lot of other trees as well. But then it all started with that mission. Then I saw that if I want people to believe on, a 6-year-old girl, it
Yeah.
is very important that I have something trustworthy. So I formed this non-profit organization, that is Prasiddhi Forest Foundation, which is also a registered NGO. Then after this started, gradually, during my plantation drives, I
Mm.
noticed, as I mentioned, that people have this love for nature. People want to do something, but they're not aware about the situation. They don't know how to do it. Then came where the two missions of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation arrived. And those two missions are, the first is to keep planting trees to enhance biodiversity, which was the main reason, to support biodiversity and plant trees, to do that. And the second mission was to spread awareness and bring people together, because when I spread awareness, I'll make many more people like me, many more people who want to strive for change and who are building actual impact. So that were the two missions, and that's how it started. I mean, that those were the cores, those are the cores of Prasiddhi Forest Foundation, which gave it a base. And then eventually on the basis of that, I started doing a lot of different projects.
All right. And then what programs does Prasiddhi Forest Foundation run?
So, as I mentioned, we have two missions, that is action and awareness. Action and awareness. So, in awareness, we have a lot of different webinars, lot of sessions, lot of events that we do. Other than that, individually connecting with a lot of amazing people who want to do something for the environment. And other than that, wherever we get an opportunity to connect and spread the word, I definitely try to do that. And we also organize social internships for first year college students, in which we explain them about multiple different ways about how supporting the environment, supporting the society plays a vital role in order to build a better future for yourself and for the entire world. And in awareness, we have, so be it in the schools or in the corporates where we plant, or in the government areas, it is very difficult because people don't know about the value of environment, about the value of nature, how important it is, or why is it important to protect it. So you really need to individually go and explain, be it the corporate, or be it the landowner, or if the farmer or villager, that why is it important, which is very important. And we work on one thing, one core of an awareness, that is building the chain of change. That if I am telling anyone about it, then that person connects with a few other people, and then it gets mobilized.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we believe in. And in action, definitely we organize plantation drives. We also believe that with greening, it is important to do cleaning. So we do beach cleanups. And other than terrestrial trees and plants, we do mangroves. So in the mangrove location, mostly there is a lot of plastic near the estuaries where fresh water and salty water mix, which is the appropriate place for mangroves. Over there is a lot of plastic. So automatically beach cleanup gets involved, and then we make it a community project where we support a lot of livelihoods of farmers and villagers also, where we connect with them, and definitely biodiversity, so that we can support the little birds, squirrels, butterflies, from whom I get a lot of immense happiness. So
Wow.
programs on the awareness for that, and definitely to support it, we plant trees.
Wow, that's amazing. And until this conversation, Prasiddhi, how many trees have you and your team planted, and where were the plantation location?
So, until this conversation that is going on, we have planted about um, 1,15,000 trees, and it has been done in 72 different locations. So across India, in 72 different locations, which is a couple of states located in India. And what we do, our system is that we connect with people who are willing to do plantation drives or places. So it can be government schools, trust lands, colleges, safe public places, industries, corporates, or farmers and villagers. With farmers and villagers, it is pretty helpful when we do it, because over there they have this care for trees, so they are able to take good care of them. And definitely we do it in multiple other different places as well. So we've done it in 72 different places, these plantation drives, and 1,10,000 trees.
All right. And then having been planting over 100,000 trees with more than 40,000 volunteers, or you just say eco warriors, how do you
Yes.
create the program concept, recruit the eco warriors, and then mobilize those tens of thousands of them?
So this is basically on your inner willing, your feeling to support the environment. We don't exactly recruit them. We sort of associate with the nature lovers who are there. We encourage them, and it is on a complete volunteer basis. So the roles that are played by them is, some people take care of the different on ground work, connecting with the people, organizing the plantation, because so many different sites, so much of maintenance, so many different saplings that need to be transported over there, the weeding, the watering, so many different things are involved. So you definitely need a team, you definitely need supporters, and that is how we've organized it completely. And other than that, in the sessions and workshops, when I connect with them, they individually, be it in Australia, be it in UK or USA, in their place itself, they might plant 2 or 3 trees, or they might tell their friends or their colleagues about the importance of environment, and they take up the mission. That is how it works. And otherwise, we have dedicated programs also, such as we have different courses that we provide based on environment. We have sessions, webinars through which we connect. And otherwise, people also, approach us through our social media
Mhm.
that they want to do something. And whichever way we can serve back, we use that.
Wow. And you also create fruit forests. How's the story?
So fruit forests has been the core of all the plantation drives that I have done, for multiple reasons. Because fruit forest is not something we pay much attention to. Not many people think of planting fruit trees, and for me there were a couple of reasons. First one was, when I saw that there are these wax coating done on the different fruits, and different injections are put into it so that they glow and they look glossy, or it is made so that they add preservatives to it. So when I saw that happening, I personally felt very bad that for ourselves, we itself are harming our own bodies. Then why should we do that? Why do we need to use such fruits? The
Mhm.
second one was, when I saw that in government schools, when I started with planting in government schools, because that's where I saw that the students can take care and I can also spread awareness. I saw that many of them don't even have enough, don't even have enough money to have one day's meal. So if I will plant fruit trees over there itself in their school for all the students, they will have an awareness on nature. They will get a food source. They will get a lot of happiness, and they will be able to also take care of the plants. So it became an entire ecosystem. And the third one, let me ask a question to you. You've been asking me so many questions. That have you ever seen a bird or squirrel swiping their credit card in the grocery store for fruits?
Wow, never.
No, that is not something we've seen until and unless someone edits it, obviously. So that is something we've never seen, and their only source is fruit trees. That is the only way through which they can eat. So to support biodiversity as well, I came up with the concept of fruit forests.
Wow, wow. And how many fruit forests do you have now?
So now I have a total of 28 fruit forests.
28 fruit forests. And where are they based in?
So these fruit forests are mostly based in either, as I mentioned, either in government schools, or it is based in corporate lands, or it is based with farmers and villages.
Mhm. So it's around Chengalpattu area.
Yeah. It is around Chengalpattu area, yes, and we have planted in bits and pieces in other locations of India also.
Mhm. So what else inside of the fruit forest?
So inside the fruit forest is a very big story, because they have this intricate root system of so many birds, so many butterflies or squirrels who go there and pack the trees. They have this own complex system, and how the fungi does the symbiosis with the tree, their inter wood wide web. That is a system through which they can talk, trade, and reward one another. So that is the way through which they share nutrients and minerals with each other ground beneath our feet. When I got to know about it, I was so fascinated that I couldn't wait but implement it. And that was my first step. In the government school, I planted a fruit forest. And we believe in native species. Because you'll be surprised when I tell you, I went to a nursery
Mm-hmm.
and I saw that over there in that nursery, they had two saplings that were there. They were two flower saplings, okay. And asked them, why is the rate of both of them different? It was different. One was less, one was more. They told that one of them is hybrid, so it has less rate. One of them is native, and it takes lot of time to grow, so it has more rate. And what happened is that I discovered that the hybrid one does not even have fragrance, but the native one has fragrance. But just because it takes more time to grow, they kept a hybrid option also. And I noticed that hybrid trees also fall off very quickly, because the hybrid trees in the Varda cyclone fell off fast compared to the native trees who have roots in the soil. So I decided that I'm definitely not going to plant hybrid trees, because can you imagine a small plant this sized is having fruits in them? Isn't that something very wrong that you do with the plant? So I came up that I have to plant native trees no matter what. And then I found the best option of fruit trees. So mango, jamun, guava, amla, different kinds of varieties that are going to be very effective.
All right. In your age right now, how do you organize all of the programs in your foundation and in your fruit forest? And how do you finance them?
So speaking of how do I finance, all my and how I organize all my different projects. Speaking of organizing it, my team definitely does a very big support, be it the admin team or the actual farmers team. A lot of villagers, so more than 5,000 villagers and farmers are associated to this mission. Or it can be even the online, connecting with people online,
Mhm.
that team. There are a lot of different things that are involved, and they support me quite a lot in order to organize whatever I do. Because when you see, in the beginning, for me, procuring saplings, can you imagine 100,000 trees, procuring saplings, the amount of funds that go in that? So I came out with this out of the box solution to
Mhm.
create my own nursery. So I went door to door to different homes and I said that I will come next weekend, save your fruits, okay? Save the fruit seeds, dry them, and give it to me, and I'll plant it in my own nursery. So I created a community nursery with different students over there. Then I created a school nursery, and now I have an entire farmers nursery where I support the farmers' livelihood as well as I've done that. So that team of farmers or that team of students who supported me helped me in organizing whatever I do. And definitely, your family supports, your team supports, all the members, everyone you're associated with at the end support. Even you are supporting me because, or you're supporting the environment because you're helping to spread the word across, right? After all. And speaking of finance, it is a problem. It is definitely a problem that I face. But I was able to come up with solutions, like I was able to make my nursery. So that deducted a big amount of funds that go in saplings. Then I also I started off by selling small bookmarks, with eco quotes written on them, or by making paper pencils, grow kits. I started off with that. I went to multiple camp. In fact, I still do that. I go to multiple campaigns, and I was just what 5 6 years, and I'd go there with a board that please help me in planting trees by providing me with some funds. And that's how the entire journey started. That's how the entire raising funds started. And now I have eco collaborators as well who support me in my mission. So that has been my journey of financing and the people who support me in organizing.
Wow, wow, wow. Three times for wow. And yes, we will always support you, Prasiddhi. We need more Prasiddhi, more young, girls, more young people like you in India and all over the world.
Thank you so much. I really hope we definitely do that.
Yes. And Prasiddhi, moreover, you also founded a new initiative called the Green Pillar. Could you share
Yes.
about this new initiative?
So the green pillar is another very interesting concept, and it is furthermore to the element of spreading awareness, because I saw that I was not able to dedicate enough time to connect with all the people one to one, or to give all the to be able to help everyone individually to support. First of all, if it is time zone, then it becomes a little bit of a problem. So I came up with this solution in which everything was end to end, at your pace, wherever you are, at any time, whatever skill you have, whatever you want to do. And I founded the Green Pillar. So our mission, I mean, our goal is, what we basically do is we combat climate change and promote sustainable living. And we have social impact and solutions. So apart from tree plantation, we have women empowerment projects, community development projects. We have different environmental options that you can do, like regenerative agriculture, or doing beach cleanups, different options we have provided in social impact and solution. Then we have climate education courses. So those are like proper courses, e-modules, or proper programs that we
Mhm.
provide to them, through which they can understand about the environment. Like we have the course called Be the Impact Creator course. So in this, we give an action plan to community service, and it is an entire course where you get to know about the importance of community service. You get to know the different about things such as CSR, or how companies are doing it, how individually you can do it, how different success stories like Jane Goodall or Wangari Masai, different people are being able to do it, and also how you yourself can start your journey to create an impact. So such courses on this, or on green skills, green jobs, nature-based solutions, carbon footprint, different topics we have courses. Then our third segment is Global Tribe. So it is a community of nature enthusiasts or business-based enthusiasts who support nature, companies, NGOs, groups, everyone, even villagers and farmers come together in this tribe, and they are a part of it, everyone who supports environment, basically. And finally, we have action and awards. So that is an interesting, fun, creative element for youngsters like me who love art or who love writing, who love photography, who love innovation, or who love literature, who can use those talents of theirs to protect the planet. And that's what we've come up with in that. And these are the segments that we are coming up with a lot of different elements. And in the green pillar, we are doing a lot of things, like we have a new initiative, that is the International Climate Challenge,
Mm-hmm.
where youth of 20 countries, different sessions, different concepts, cash awards, or their ideas get published. We have a lot of elements coming up, and that was about the green pillar.
Wow, that's amazing. And we are wondering, Prasiddhi, what are the problems and challenges on the ground you find out in running your foundation projects and initiatives?
Challenges is a very interesting thing, because I never take challenges as challenges. I take them as opportunities of learning, because it helps me to come out with a lot of out of the box solutions, things you will never even think of. And I never like to go the straight way, because often I come with challenges and then I find another door to it. So, for instance, it can be, convincing the people, first of all, because you imagine a 6-year-old girl going in front of a principal of a school, or a company owner or landowner or farmer, and telling that 6-year-old girl, just imagine this, give it a thought. I want to plant trees on your land, and that too fruit trees to support biodiversity. It is definitely going to be a no without any thought. Maybe in a good way, but it is definitely going to be, the intention will be no, because why should you give a land to a 6-year-old girl to plant trees, and that too fruit trees to support the environment? Sorry, to support biodiversity. So that was a very big problem that I faced in convincing people. But then I went for it, because I had learned a little bit, I had acceptable knowledge, I was able to help them have an understanding. Initially, some people still didn't agree. But once I started doing it, they started accepting it. Or it is getting support from the local or governmental authorities and bodies. You have to convince them, you have to go to the, I'm speaking of the hierarchy of the Indian government officials. It can be the block development officer, or the chief education officer, or the district collector, the what do you say, the project director. So many different people you have to approach, you have to get confirmation, so many things are involved. And those were challenges for me, but then I took them as experiences, because then eventually it became a part of life, and then slowly the government officials started to know me. So it was something that I'd go every day and I'd meet with them, connect with them. And then slowly even a process started to form. That if it's on a government land, you connect with the panchayat, you connect with the villagers over there and do the plantation. If it's with a farmer, then you associate, you provide them the saplings and you do it. Or if it's the government school, you spread awareness, you connect with them, do an educational program, and then do the plantation. Or I have these MOUs that are documents that I have kept of all the plantation drives, because you need to keep it organized as well. And I have a good team who supports me in order to do that. So these have been challenges, but it's always been a very interesting experience. And even studies has been something, but I've been able to manage.
All right, you just mentioned about study, and how does a great student manage to oversee a foundation amidst lots of academics?
So speaking of academics, is, I mean, I come amongst the top scorers in my school as well. Not that I am bad in class. I come amongst the top scorers. I get A grade, and it is there, and I found it very interesting, because after all, you do it so that you can do things otherwise. Other than studies, you learn. And I found it that by these experiences itself, I was able to cover so many things that you learn in academics, such as when it is mathematics of doing the calculations, or looking at the area and perimeter, or if it is the language communication. So you need to speak in the local language, that is Tamil, with the villagers and farmers, or if you have to communicate with other people, it is Hindi. That is, there are 21 official languages in India, so
Yeah.
it is pretty vast. But in the southern part, it is Tamil, or else there is Hindi, or it is communication English. And then otherwise, apart from that, there is social studies, so geography, history, civics, that is the political science, or it can be science. It has always been very interesting because I've had a particular interest in geography as well, capitals and maps. So it's been an amazing experience for me after all, I should say. And it is difficult. I always have to carry my books with me. I always have to parallelly keep learning whatever I'm doing. So for instance, on Monday, I have exams coming up. So I was just preparing for it, and then I remembered we have a session, so I quickly hopped on. So that's how it keeps happening.
Mhm.
And it's fun. It's interesting and exciting and parallelly difficult.
Wow, I'm really glad to hear that. And then, how does it feel to be a young climate champion with many prestigious?
I mean, awards has been an interesting element because it definitely motivates me to do something. It motivates me, it appreciates whatever I'm doing. It makes me feel that I have to do more, but the road is very long. I haven't even come to the midpoint. I haven't even come to quarter of it. And as it is very long, I just take them as milestones and motivations. And one thing I do is whenever I get an award, I always try that I get the opportunity to speak over there, to connect with them, which I do get, so that after all, it is not just a piece of appreciation that I want, but I want that every viewer or every guest who comes over there gets to know that how important it is to protect the planet. And that has been something very important, and I should thank everyone who has supported me. I enjoyed dedicating it to the trees, or to the birds and the squirrels, or to my team, or all the members who've supported me in order to be able to achieve it. In
Mhm.
fact, when you ask me the question of supporters, it actually reminds me now that I should see that there are two types of supporters. There is humans, and definitely there is nature, which is the biggest supporter. Because you take one step towards nature and it'll come, it'll support you. It takes tests that it'll sometimes you'll not get water, or sometimes you'll not be able to do the fencing. But then when you see the forest growing, it is very pleasurable and memorable for you. And then awards are like cherry on cake and
Wow,
motivate.
wow, how supporters from human beings and then from the nature. Wow, that's amazing. And Prasiddhi, last but not least, what would be your message for youth out there about environment?
So for youths, I'll also add Zen Alpha to that, because youth only covers Zen Z, but Zen Alpha is what I am, 10 years of age. So in that, I'll say that we have a very big power that not many adults have, is imagination. We can go to an extent of imagination, of actually understanding about the value, or it can be technology that we pick, or it can be nature, or it can be both. All we need is a little bit of understanding. All we need is to remind ourselves about the lush green forests or the oceans. Because when my father used to narrate me stories how he used to go to school and sit below the tree, and then see the squirrels and birds, and he used to pluck the fruit from top and eat it itself, or he had his own homemade, without those Tupperware boxes, he used to eat in those mom's cloth. So that has been so fascinating for me to know about, that I feel that I want to make a world like that again. And I will also add the effect of technology and modernization. So that is something that we need to do, is just imagine and impact. Not just that we keep imagining, we also have to take action. And it is just that we need to come to us that I have to do it. And then the zeal, the power we have is so immense that we will definitely get it done. So I should say that one thing which I often quote, that dream high, higher than the sky, think deep, deeper than the ocean, and act like trees, breeze, and seas. That is the message I'd like to give for youth. And I would love to connect with any keen nature lover or any keen person who wants to do something for the environment through social media, or you can write me, and I'd really love to do that.
Wow, amazing. This is such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Prasiddhi, for sharing your inspiring story.
Thank you so much. It was an amazing experience connecting with you today.
Yes, thank you. That's so inspiring. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's collaborate to make this world into a better place. I'm Gulo from Jadi PNS. Thank you and see you again. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.